The outlaw killed my father. But when I saw his face, I couldn't pull the trigger. Maya's knees pressed against the cold courthouse stone, her father's badge burning in her palm. Sheriff Thomas Webb lay twisted on the steps, 3 bullet holes punched through his chest. Blood pooled beneath him, seeping into the cracks between stones. "Maya, you need to get up." Deputy Cole's voice shook as he reached for her shoulder. "Don't touch me. People are watching. This ain't the place." She lifted the badge to the light. "Still warm? Still slick? Who saw it happen?" "Maya, please. Who saw it?" Cole shifted his weight, glancing at the windows lining Main Street. Curtains twitched behind glass. Mrs. Henderson was sweeping her porch. "Said a man on horseback came riding hard from the east. What did he look like?" "Dark coat. White hat pulled low. Fired 3 shots and kept riding." "Which way?" "South toward the ridge." Maya stood, her father's blood staining her dress. The badge felt heavier than it should, like it carried the weight of every decision he'd ever made. "Get me his gun." "Maya, no. His gun, Cole. You can't go after him alone. Watch me." Cole's hand hovered over his holster. "Sheriff Webb wouldn't want this. Sheriff Webb is dead." She held out her hand. "His gun, now." The deputy hesitated, then unbuckled her father's gun belt. Maya strapped it around her waist, the leather too wide for her frame, but the weight familiar. She'd been shooting since she could hold a rifle. Half the county's looking for this man already. Half the county didn't find him yet. She pinned the badge to her coat, right over her heart. The metal caught the afternoon sun, throwing light across the courthouse steps where her father's body still lay cooling. "Maya, this is madness. Maybe." She walked toward her father's horse, still tied to the hitching post. The bay mare snorted and stamped, sensing the blood. "But it's my madness now." The town watched from every window as Maya swung into the saddle. She could feel their eyes, their whispered prayers and judgments. Let them watch. Let them remember this moment when the Webb family decided enough was enough. She turned the horse south and rode. Maya kicked open the mahogany doors to Governor Hartwell's office. The man stood hunched over his fireplace, feeding papers to the flames. Whiskey and leather and something rotten filled the air. "Awful late for a fire, Governor." Hartwell spun around, his face flushed from drink and heat. "Miss Webb, my condolences about your father. Save it." She let her coat fall open, showing her father's gun. "You know why I'm here." "I'm afraid I don't. My father's dead. Shot 3 times on courthouse steps. Funny thing is, he came to see you yesterday." Hartwell's hand trembled as he reached for his whiskey glass. "Thomas Webb was a good man. Made enemies, though. Sheriff's job does that." "What enemies?" "Hard to say. Could have been anyone." Maya stepped closer to the fireplace. Orange light danced across burnt paper edges. "Anyone or someone you hired?" "Careful, girl. That's a serious accusation. My father found something, didn't he? Something worth killing for. Your father was investigating vote buying in the eastern counties. Dangerous work. Made the wrong people angry." Maya's eyes locked on a half-burned letter in the flames. Her father's handwriting. Her father's words. "You lying son of a bitch." She lunged for the fireplace, grabbing the letter before Hartwell could stop her. The paper crumbled, but she could read enough. Her father's signature. A threat to expose corruption. Names, dates, money changing hands. "Give me that. This is addressed to you." She backed toward the window. "My father was blackmailing you. Your father was a drunk and a fool. My father knew you were stealing elections, buying votes, taking money from land developers. Prove it." "I just did." She tucked the letter inside her coat. "How much did you pay the killer?" "I don't know what you're talking about." "Dark coat. White hat. Rides south after he's done." "Sound familiar?" Hartwell's face went pale. "Gods, gods!" But Maya was already moving, throwing open the window behind his desk. She swung one leg over the sill. "You killed the wrong Webb, Governor. My father was the forgiving type." "Wait, I'm not." She dropped into the alley below as boots thundered up the stairs, the letter pressed against her ribs, her father's words burning hotter than any flame. Evidence, truth, justice. Maya disappeared into the shadows between buildings, already planning her next move. The Webb homestead sat empty against the night sky, windows black as dead eyes. Maya tied her horse to the sagging porch rail and walked around back. Weeds choked the yard, where her mother's garden once bloomed. The well stood crooked and forgotten, its wooden cover rotted through. Maya lowered herself into the stone circle, boots scraping against wet walls. Her fingers found the loose stone her father had shown her years ago. Behind it, wrapped in oilcloth, lay a bundle of papers. She climbed out and spread the documents on her mother's headstone. Moonlight made the ink dance across the pages. Bank records, letters, a death certificate, Sarah Webb, cause of death fever, but underneath in her father's handwriting, lies, all lies. Maya's hands shook as she turned the pages. A letter from 15 years ago addressed to Governor Hartwell. Her mother's signature at the bottom, threatening to expose vote-buying schemes unless he stepped down. Another document, payment records, $500 to J. Cross for services rendered. The date matched her mother's death. Jesus Christ! Her mother hadn't died of fever. She'd been murdered. The same man who killed her father had killed her mother first. The same hired gun. The same dark coat riding away into the night. Maya pressed her face to the cold headstone. "I'm sorry, Mama, I'm so sorry." The sound of hoofbeats cut through the darkness. Someone was coming up the ridge. Maya grabbed the papers and ran to her mother's grave, digging frantically with her bare hands until she could bury the evidence beneath the dirt. The hoofbeats grew louder, closer. Maya drew her gun and crouched behind the headstone, heart hammering against her ribs. Through the darkness, a single rider emerged from the tree line. He wore a dark coat and a wide hat pulled low. The killer had found her. The man dismounted slowly, hands visible. He was younger than Maya expected, maybe mid-30s, with scars covering his knuckles and eyes that carried too much weight. He walked toward her mother's grave and knelt, pulling wildflowers from his coat pocket. "Don't move." Maya's gun shook in her hands. He placed the flowers on Sarah Webb's headstone without looking up. "I brought these every year. 15 years now. You're him. You're the killer. Yes. You shot my father. Yes. Look at me." Jacob Cross raised his head. His eyes were gentle, broken, nothing like she'd imagined. "I've been waiting for this day since I pulled that trigger. Why'd you do it?" "Which time?" Maya's finger hovered over the trigger. "My mother first. I was 17, stupid, desperate." His voice cracked. "Hartwell had my sister. Said he'd kill her if I didn't do what he wanted. So you murdered my mother. I put poison in her medicine. Made it look like a fever." He touched the headstone. "Worst thing I ever did. And my father. That's more complicated. Try me." Jacob stood slowly, hands still visible. "Your father hired me 3 months ago. Wanted me to kill Hartwell. Said he knew what I'd done to your mother." "What?" "He'd been investigating her death for 15 years. Found the truth. Offered me a choice." "What choice?" "Kill Hartwell, or he'd turn me in for murder." Maya's gun wavered. "But you didn't kill Hartwell. Couldn't do it. Told your father I was done killing." Jacob's eyes met hers. "So Hartwell killed him instead. You're lying. Your father was a good man who loved his wife. But revenge made him just as dirty as the rest of us." "Shut up. He hired the man who killed his wife to kill the man who ordered it. You see the problem?" Maya's hands shook violently. The gun felt impossibly heavy. "He wouldn't do that." Check his desk. "Top drawer. You'll find the contract he wrote. My signature's on it. I don't believe you. Your mother tried to expose corruption. Your father tried to avenge her death. Both of them used me." Jacob stepped closer. "Now you're pointing a gun at me. The cycle doesn't end, does it?" Maya stared into his eyes and saw her father's pain reflected back. 15 years of guilt. 15 years of flowers on a grave. "Who are you?" "I'm the man who destroyed your family twice." Maya's gun never wavered. "Tell me everything." Jacob sat down heavily beside the headstone. "Your father wasn't always clean. Early days as sheriff, he took Hartwell's money. Looked the other way on vote buying. Land deals. All of it. That's not true. Your mother found out. Threatened to expose everyone, including your father." Jacob's voice grew quiet. "That's why Hartwell wanted her dead. She was going to bring down the whole operation. My father loved her. Love doesn't wash away guilt." Jacob pulled his own gun from his holster, set it on the ground between them. He spent 15 years trying to make it right. But guilt eats you alive. Maya felt something crack inside her chest. He was a good man. He was a broken man, just like me. You're nothing like him. I killed for money. He hired killers for revenge. What's the difference? Stop talking. Your mother died because she had principles. Your father died because he lost his. Jacob pushed his gun closer to Maya's feet. Now you get to choose which one you are. Maya stared at the weapon lying in the dirt. Her finger tightened on her own trigger. Pick it up. No. Pick it up and fight me. I'm tired of fighting. You killed my family. I killed 2 people I should have protected. Your mother was trying to save this county. Your father was trying to save his soul. Jacob looked up at her. What are you trying to save? Maya's hands shook. In Jacob's eyes, she saw her father's face. The weight he carried. The guilt that never left. 2 broken men caught in a web of violence and corruption, each trying to find a way out. End it, Jacob whispered. Please. Maya's finger hovered on the trigger. The gun felt impossibly heavy. Behind Jacob's eyes, she saw 15 years of carrying flowers to a grave. 15 years of knowing what he'd done. 15 years of waiting for someone to make him pay. Her finger trembled. The night held its breath. Maya lowered her gun. The weight of it suddenly felt unbearable. Get up! Jacob looked confused. What? Get up. We're burning it all. She walked to where she'd buried the evidence, digging with her bare hands until she found the papers. Jacob watched as she pulled out the documents, the contracts, the 15 years of secrets. Help me gather wood. Maya, you want to end this? Help me end it right. They built a small fire near the well. Maya fed the papers to the flames one by one. Bank records, vote-buying schemes, her father's contract with Jacob's signature. All of it turned to ash and smoke. What now? Jacob asked. Now we go back. They rode toward town as dawn broke over the ridge. Maya carried her father's badge in her coat pocket, its weight different now. Not heavier, just different. At the courthouse, Maya dismounted and walked to the front doors. She pulled out a piece of paper and wrote quickly. Governor Hartwell ordered the murders of Sarah and Thomas Webb. He's been stealing elections for 20 years. Ask him about the eastern counties. Ask him about J. Cross. Ask him about the money. She pinned the note to the door with her father's badge, the metal catching the morning light. That's it? Jacob asked. That's it. They'll come after you. Let them try. Jacob climbed back on his horse. Where will you go? West. You? North. Maybe find my sister. Jacob, yeah? 15 years of flowers on her grave. That means something. He nodded, then rode away without looking back. Maya watched until he disappeared over the hill, then turned and walked to her horse. The courthouse door stood behind her, the badge gleaming in the sunrise. She mounted up and rode west, leaving the badge where it belonged. Not on her chest, but nailed to the truth. The cycle ended, not with blood, but with the simple courage to choose a different path. Behind her, the town began to wake. Maya's hands were dirty from working the soil when she heard the horse approach. 6 months of farming had calloused her palms and strengthened her back. She looked up from the vegetable rows to see Jacob Cross riding slowly up her lane. Thought you went north. I did. Found my sister. He dismounted, looking older but cleaner somehow. She's safe now, married, got kids. Good. Mind if I water my horse? Well's around back. She watched him lead the mare to the water trough. When he returned, she was kneeling in the garden again, planting late-season beans. Heard Hartwell got arrested. 3 weeks ago. Maya didn't look up. Federal charges. Vote-buying, corruption, murder, conspiracy. Good. Help me with these seeds? Jacob knelt beside her in the dirt. They worked in comfortable silence, his scarred hands surprisingly gentle with the small plants. The afternoon sun warmed their backs as they moved down the rows together. Been traveling the county, Jacob said eventually. Making amends where I can. How's that going? Slow work. Some folks won't talk to me. Others want to shoot me. Can't blame them. No, can't. Maya glanced toward her kitchen window, where her father's badge hung on a nail. Not hidden away, but not worn either. Just there. A reminder of choices made and choices yet to come. What made you stop here? Figured I owed you something. Like what? Truth, apology, maybe just the company. They finished the row and sat back on their heels. The garden stretched before them, neat lines of green pushing up through dark earth. Sarah, Maya said quietly. What? My mother's name was Sarah. It was the first time she'd spoken it aloud since the night at the graveyard. Sarah Elizabeth Webb, Jacob nodded. She was trying to save something worth saving. We all were. They walked to the porch as the sun began to set. Maya poured 2 glasses of water from the pitcher. They sat on the wooden steps, watching shadows stretch across the fields. Think the dead rest easier when the living learn to forgive? Jacob asked. Maya considered this, feeling the evening breeze on her face. I think they rest easier when we learn to plant instead of burn.